really your fault. And let's talk about that today. Why are our earners? Why are they broke? Right? Let's talk about it. This topic, it is the reason why this is very important is because you work so hard for your money and you should know where your money is going to. And as a matter of fact, you should do all that you can to protect your money. All right. Happy Monday. Welcome, welcome. By now, you would have spent like 5 hours, or yeah, 5 and on the job, and you'd have traded your time for money. But guess what? You still feel stuck. You know, even though you're earning good income, but then you still feel very stuck when it comes to finances. Let's talk about that. Why are our earners? Why do they still feel broke? And we'll talk about real estate. We'll talk about investing. Ahead of the training that is coming on the 11th and on the 12th. So if you have not registered, consider doing that because that's part of the strategy that's going to help you get unstuck. Okay, unstuck. Right? It's the system. The system plays such that we are all supposed to work. And you understand this, is going to change everything about it. So today, let's talk about, you know, um, have you ever met someone who makes good money? Have you ever? And that could be you. Have you ever met someone who makes good money but still feel financially stuck? It could be your sister or your brother or your friend that is making some decent 500,000, but it's still like financial freedom is still far from the person, and you're wondering what is going on, right? And it could be you are making a six-figure income and you're wondering, I don't know, it just feels like I even feel better when I was earning less than six-figure salary, but now I feel stuck when it comes to finances. I feel I'm not having the financial peace that I require. So welcome, welcome here. Thank you for sharing the live. Let's talk about that. Yeah. Some people make good salary, a good career, yet wealth still feels far away. Understand two things. Just understand one thing. Salary is one thing, building wealth is another thing. They're two different things. If you just build, your goal is just, oh, you know what, I'm just, my salary is going to make you wealthy. Sorry to break it to you, your salary cannot make you wealthy. Absolutely not. It will not. Right? What is going to make you wealthy is what you do with that salary, what you do with that paycheck, what you do with that income. That is what is going to help you build wealth. Copper, how are you? Welcome. We're talking about why are high income earners? Why are they still broke? Why did they still feel broke? And you probably would have seen a family, a friend, or it could be you, that you're making decent income, good career, but then you are still struggling when it comes to you can't say that I have financial freedom or financial peace. That's what we're talking about. Let us discuss why and what you should do differently to become unstuck from that financial nightmare that you're in. So welcome, and if you haven't subscribed, consider doing that because here we talk about wealth building. I help, if you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology, and I help professionals build wealth the right way, right? Some things that you do not know about, or some things that are keeping you where you're at, right? Those are things we're going to be talking about here because once you understand those things, when it comes to your finances, you'd realize, or when it comes to building wealth, you realize that you will do better. And that's what we're talking about today. Why does I earners 500,000, 100,000, 150,000? Why are they still stuck? You probably would have heard this. So thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for subscribing if you haven't. And thank you for the follow. Because here it's about strategies, right? So number one thing, one of the biggest problem that we have is that most professionals rely on one stream of income, which is basically their job. Did everybody hear about the layoffs? The layoff in Oracle, 30,000 people were laid off last week. 30 solid thousand. That is, to me, it is not just numbers. To me, that is life. That is people's livelihood, a whole family's livelihood cut off like that. Because we have some family that is just one person in the family, just one person in the family that is working. Just imagine that is a whole family gone down just because of one person, just because one company took a decision to lay off 30,000 people, right? And that is just one income stream. It's dangerous. It's close to just not also having income. But a lot of times, 90% of the people, 80% of the people focus on just this one income stream, which is your 9 to 5. Absolutely amazing. However, if all you do is just 9 to 5, just like the 30,000 people, it's not about your performance. You might be giving it your best, but if the employer says, you know what, I need to increase my returns on investment, I need more, what do? They start with employee before they even cut anything. It's the employee they start with, because how do you explain 30,000 lives, 30,000 family impacted just by one layoff? That is why it is really risky when we are just using one stream of income, which is that job, right? The only thing you do it when you have one stream of income, you basically make sure that you are ensuring that you are getting an additional stream of income, or you are using that income to fund other streams of income. That's how you make your money work added for you, because yeah, these things happen. 30,000 people laid off in this current economy in the United States and all over the world. That is huge, huge. Dumped in one day. They all just got an email. Some of them have worked 20 years, 30 years in the same company, dedicated their life. And guess what? In one day, all gone. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for sharing the live. And we at Umber, welcome. Kambi, Copper, welcome, welcome. And for that's because we have people on the YouTube. Brady, developer Wale, welcome, welcome here. Yeah, so we're talking about why do high income earners, why are they broke? Okay, why are they broke? Yeah, and that's what number one is, the income stream. Just think about the 30,000 people laid off in what's it called, Oracle last week, right? Just imagine, that is number one easy way to get broke, because if you don't have emergency fund, you don't have a backup plan, you don't have other streams of income today, I bet, I can tell you, for anybody that doesn't have those plans, by now they are having sleepless nights. Some of them don't know where their rent is going to come from the next month, so they are already panicking. And that's why having one stream of income is close to not having income at all. It's just one person taking a decision. So most professionals rely on one income, which is basically their 9 to 5. You have done, if you are Central Time, you have already done 5.5 hours of your life traded today. And I'm not disputing, I'm one of those people that encourages you to work. There's dignity in labor. However, whatever you do in that income, always have a backup, right? Don't just spend everything, right? Do not do that, because you find yourself just like the 30,000 people. They're also calling on God, they trust on God and all of that. But what happens? Some of them are top performance. Some of them, that's the only career they know. But guess what? Boom, 30,000, they were just numbers and they were gone. And while salary can pay bills, it really build wealth, right? Salary will help you pay bills, but it really builds wealth, okay? Because what actually builds wealth is what you now do with that income. So let's assume that you get your income, and every single time what you use to fund is lifestyle. Then there's no wealth that is being built, because you are just funding liabilities. What is going to help you, for you, this is the system you are supposed to follow. And I've said this over and over again. And for those that are just meeting me, right? Basically, think about it. It's a cycle, it's a system, right? When you get your income, let me use this as an illustration. When you get an income, this income is going to fund what? You use it, some of it for depreciating lifestyle. Those ones are just, you use it for your groceries, your rent, your transportation, all of your basic needs, right? And then you are supposed to put some aside, right? You put some aside towards cash flowing appreciating asset, right? This asset is now going to it will start generating something called cash flow. It start giving birth to cash flow. Now, cash flow is now what gives you freedom. What does cash flow mean? Cash flow means that it doesn't, assets, this is income. This requires you to work. This requires a person to function, right? However, when it comes to assets, asset doesn't require you. The only thing that it requires is your money. Some of that your money that you earn from your income, if you put it towards asset, asset will work independently of you. So think about real estate, think about business, think about is the stock market. Think about you putting money in IE savings account, cash bond, welcome. Think about that. You put that money and then it will start working by itself. If you play, for instance, you buy a real estate of $200,000, right? The rent is going to be $2,000. That is cash flow every single month for you. And that is how you can say, when Oracle laid off 30,000 people, you can say that, think about it, if you have two, three, or four of this property, what does this give you? You already have close to like $6,000, $8,000 that is coming in for you, right? And then if anything happens, that you have your emergency fund taken care of. You have your emergency fund taken care of, and at the same time you also have your real estate generating funds for you, or your investment, any form of investment, business, all of that generating funds for you. And that is how it's been done. And then when you have the cash flow, it gets to a certain point that your cash flow can actually replace your income, right? So it's basically this: income, asset, cash flow, and freedom. So, and there's something that says, if you don't have a plan, right, that is a strategy to fail. That is a pathway to failure. All right. So that's the plan right there. So the plan is, number one, to fund your life, right? Make sure that you are saving between, at least, any amount that you can save, but between 20 to 50%, every single month. Put it aside. When you put it aside, put it towards assets. Buy ETF, buy real estate, buy a business, and then the business is going to do what? It's going to generate cash flow. This cash flow is that generates, that is how you would get your freedom. Because you've been hearing financial freedom and you're wondering, oh, does that even happen? Yes, that's how it happens. That's how. It's not your 9 to 5. Your 9 to 5 is just an enabler. So let's talk about another three reasons. Having understood that, three reasons why the high income earners are broke. Because you'll be like, okay, but this process is simple enough. But let me tell you the reason why they broke. Number one, lifestyle inflation. Your salary comes, you get a salary, you're spending it, and then you get a salary increase. What happens? Your lifestyle also increases. Then before now you had one bedroom, but all of a sudden, because you got salary increase, you think that, oh, even though it's just one, there is one, you think that, okay, all of a sudden, because you got salary increase, you are now double, so you need two rooms. Those are things. Your spending increases. You are spending according to your income. No, no. And that's a problem. You see some people, they are medical doctors, but guess what? They look wealthy, they look successful. I've seen it, I know it, right? To everyone, everybody's like, oh, you know what? These people are successful, but behind the scene, it's a lot of chaos. It's a lot of lack of financial peace. So that tells you something. It is not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. Because if you allow lifestyle creep to take over, what is going to happen is that your income increases, your expense is here, and once your expense equates your income, what does that? You have nothing left over, right? Nothing is left over. So you just um yeah, developer said, I learned in the hard way. You care to share the story? You care to share? I like to know the story. And oh yeah, oh, can we all tap out the life? Can we keep tapping out the life? It just helps some more people, come learn about this. Because really, you'll be so surprised. As simple as this is, a lot of people do not know, and it's not their fault. That's because they were not taught to they were not taught this we were not taught in school. Hi, developer.
Hello,
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. So what's the story? Jesus loves you
I think,
too.
yeah, what you said about lifestyle, I think there's one major mistake I made, and a lot of my guys as well made that same mistake. And I would say a couple of, let's say a year ago, like starting from 2021, immediately after COVID, this work from home, everything all started like a booming and all of that. Of course, I'm in tech, and all my guys also they're all in tech. And to be honest with you, we were making huge amounts of money. But that time you just be like, I've worked so hard. I think the most a certain statement that always deceive people is, I've worked so hard, let me reward myself. Because yes, we always work very hard, and that process be like, let me just buy this, let me buy that. Because we believe that the money will still keep coming in steady. Because before you blink, you already have another money. And to come to think of it, if you want to buy something of 100,000, you won't even have problem because you know how much is coming every month. That whatever amount you'll be paying every month to finance that is actually like a drop of water out of like a whole, like a lot of water that you have. But life can happen. Anything can happen. The government policy, and suddenly this new government entered and everything changed. Everything. Now, like you've like expanded your expenses, your spending to maybe like a whole lot of money, and now that the income has reduced, you have to start cutting down. But there's some certain things that already put your head, you can't really cut down at that moment. So we now will be struggling, and to be honest with you, I learned that in a very hard way. But let me say, I was lucky enough not to like move too far, and quickly adjust the whole thing. Even I've not adjust like I've not even like fully get everything adjusted, but I've adjusted a whole lot. But what about other people? And even like I have a friend of mine that lost his job, like currently right now since April of last year. No job, nothing. Now, just imagine if that person has like kind of expanded his own spending more than normal. So what will happen to that guy right now? I believe right now a lot of people lost their homes, lost their car, lost so many things. I think the bigger lesson for me here is that no matter how much you make, just make sure you have your numbers that this family, we don't spend more than this amount every month. If there's going to be any reason to go beyond that, you have to think very well before you can say you want to go beyond that. Because at the end of the day, anything can happen. I don't see permanent job is not permanent in this country. It's not permanent in this country. Yeah, I understand the fact that I have business, and that was why I was able to jump back. But other people did not have business, they don't have anything. So it's crazy. Hopefully everything will. But like if I get that opportunity again, I think I will use it more wisely. That's what I have to say. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and you can stay like you actually nailed it. I don't know if you've heard Oracle released. Is it? I would say released or whatever. Laid
I
off
saw it.
30,000 people. 30. I'm not saying 3,000. I did not say 300. 30,000 people laid off in one day. One day. All they had to do. So you are very, very spot on. And see, and like you rightly said, there are some things that once you expand it, like if you go and get a house, you get a house, right? Of course, you have a mortgage. You will not say that, oh, because of that, tomorrow, come and take your house. It's not possible. You have to, you're already locked in, or you bought a car. So the house is even still good, because of course it's appreciating. You can put it on rental or whatever. But think about it, a car. And that car is depreciating in value. You've already bought a Mercedes, like, it's my
That
favorite one.
that 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 got me upset. So that got me really, really upset because that happened to me. Got me very upset. And in fact, like I believe because everything I've done in my life, they are all self-taught. And either I fall and rise up and learn and move. That has been my own way, So, and what I realize is, even one mistake that I made, and I would never, if I see anybody, I would still say, don't do it this way. If you want to buy your first house, don't go too high. Because the moment you go too high, what happened is I was like, okay, let me get my second house, let me get this. But I have to keep 20% to do that. But if I've bought something a little before, I can easily just upgrade a little bit up. And after maybe some years, upgrade a little bit up, and I keep stacking everything like that. I started from the high level, and now to go to low level for investment was so difficult. It is crazy. But the major thing is, never mistakes. You just have to learn. Well, the rule is that I don't fall 2 times or multiple times. Just have to fall 1 time, learn from it, move on. If I'm going to fall again, it has to be something different on a higher level that maybe I will learn from, or maybe I don't even want to use myself to learn anymore, maybe hear from people. That is why I always kind of stick to your page, just watch. I'm not really fully active on TikTok, honestly, but I just want to stick, I just want to listen. I'm at work right now, I'm working, but at the same time, I'm my iPod on, listen to you to see if there's going to be something new I'm going to learn and all of that. And at the same time, that's always helped me, because sometimes, to be honest with you, we all love good things. I can just wake up and we like something new, and I'll be like, I have this money to do this. Why can't I just, but I'll just be like, no, control yourself, you can't do this. But listening to this kind of programs and all of that, at least if I want to make that mistake, that will come that, no, don't do it, So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, because that is, yeah, the second person or even the third. Stephanie will join shortly. And she was like, you know what she said? She said, Dr. Lina, before I met you, she's been joining because I started this live in February, right? And she said, and I've been consistent. She said, oh, Dr. Lina, before I met you, every single week, there's no single week that I don't buy something on TT Shop. But, and you know what? Say the funny thing is that it's something I don't need. I would just buy. And I said, but since I met you for the past 2 weeks, I have not bought a single thing. And I said, is that a good thing or a bad thing? She was like, anytime I want to buy, it's as if you are ringing in my brain. And you're saying, do not buy, do not buy. And but I'm glad, because a lot of it took me also. I love good things, that's the truth of the matter. I do love good things. Trust me, I've been to 22 countries. At least God gives you an idea of the kind of good things that I love, because I love to travel. But what, you need to delay the gratification. So all of this lifestyle, all of those, okay, let's think about it this way. You see that money, whenever you have the money, think about it and take that money and put it, if you want to spend it, or you feel like buying this thing. If you really don't need that thing, put it towards something else. Put it towards like an asset, put it in an account. You know what I mean? Just put it in an account. Put it in an IU savings account. Gone are the days when we would say that, okay, whenever I've paid all my bills, whatever is left, I want to I can just buy whatever I like. Whenever it's left, put it towards an investment. Because guess what? That investment tomorrow, it's going to now be the reason why you will still have that thing, right? But the thing that you really actually want, you would still have it. But because today you use it towards investment, it's the investment that is going to pay for it. It's not your life. I always say, when you start looking at money as your life, think about it. It's already, people have worked 6 hours right now. This is 1:57 Central Time, right? It means that you've started at 8 a.m. By now, you are more like you'd have spent 6 hours of your life traded for money. So when you get that money, what do you do with it? That's what really matters, right? So I always say, if you can, just start. Okay, you have extra money, put it towards something. Right, put it towards something. Especially, you see, that matter of Mercedes, I can't get past it, because it's almost like the worst. It's the worst investment you can, or because you buy it, and the way it goes down,
you'll never do it again.
It's so shocking.
Never. the funnest part of it is that the money, the cash I gave to them, just down payment, is enough for me to buy a house.
That would
You
have.
know, but that time, just like the money was just coming in, just thought like, okay, everything. But what I realized is that anytime I make any big decision like that, something will just happen. Like maybe maybe you have like multiple company you are consulting with and all of that, and what will just drop. And what it's telling me is that at the end of the day, I think it's just like, I don't know, the feeling that always comes with you want to get something, you want to get into something, and everything will just, your eyes will just clear, like immediately, just be like, what is this? And I'm the type of person that anything I love something like temporary stuff. Anything I cannot remove, I don't like it, because I can like something today and not like it tomorrow. That Mercedes one is just out of it. And to be honest with you, I don't know how I even got into that, because I have done one before that I clearly cleared off, and I say I won't do this thing again. But just because like many years ago, I did not even remember the whole thing anymore. And I just like, but I mean, at this point, every day we grow, we learn, we get more mature. Like we have more responsibilities and so many things. We have to start like thinking that, okay, this thing, nobody's looking at me that what am I driving? Because actually, my own lifestyle, I can come tomorrow and drive to Camry. I don't really care, actually. So I don't just know that time, because I work from home. Sometimes I don't even step, I don't see the sky.
Well, you bought a
As I'm telling you
Mercedes.
today, I've not seen the sky today, either blue or red or black. I have the car parked in my garage. You get what I'm saying? I
Trust
have
me,
the car
that's the
parked in
story
the
of so many
garage.
people.
Yeah, I have the car parked in the garage. I don't see the sky. You get what I'm saying? I live in the house. My wife is upstairs working on her computer. We don't get to see each other until evening. And we are the same in this house. I will see my kids. I will see my grandma. I will be like, good morning in afternoon, only if I go to the kitchen to grab water. So where am I taking the car to?
It's the lifestyle creep, and trust me, don't feel that way, because you'll be so surprised at the so many people that are in the same boat as you. And this is the lifestyle inflation that we're talking about, right? So what should you have? And I think you already have the answer. You could have just taken that money, put it towards an investment. I told the story of how I wanted to buy a car. I mean, the same justification. Everybody was saying, Dr. Lina, you've been working so hard. You deserve it. We deserve it. And I was like, okay, you know what? Okay, I know I deserve it, but yeah, but I can't trade 7 months of my life or 8 months of my life for just a car. So I just used that money, and I literally just carried the money and used it to buy a house. And then I financed the car, put a down payment, finance the car, and every single month the tenant pays the car note every single month. Guess what? I have the car, I have the house. So that is, you would have still gotten your Mercedes. But the only thing is just the delayed gratification, delay it a little bit,
Yeah.
so that it's the asset that is going to be providing you, with giving you the lifestyle. And that's why you
Yeah.
see all these multi-millionaires and the billionaires, right? When you're seeing them on those private jets, don't be surprised. It's the taxes that is paying for it. Don't be surprised that it is their businesses or the asset that is paying for it. It's not like they're sitting down somewhere. They've made profit upon profit. It could be the money that they put in one bank that is generating dividends for 1 month or 2 months. That's what paid for it. But we all would, like, lifestyle inflation is the biggest thing. It's the biggest thing. I mean, I see medical doctors and earning 500,000, having even more than that. And everything looks good in there on paper. It looks good to everyone. They feel that they are living a life. However, if you look at the college loans that they have, If you look at the debt that they have, it look like, that is even so bad because they have so much obligations. A lot of people look at them as, they look at them as, oh, they are so successful. Hey Stephanie, I just talked about you. I told you Stephanie was going to come through. I told you. So, hey Stephanie, yeah, if you want to come up, if you're not at work or you're on lunch break, let me know. You can always, yeah. I just talked about you, how you said you were buying things every month, every week on TikTok shop, and all of a sudden, yeah, all of a sudden you stop buying. I hope you still keep it to that, yeah. So training, getting lifestyle inflation is one of the biggest thing, and if you can eliminate that, so if you have your income here and you keep your expense here, right? If you keep your expense here, this difference is what you take, and that's what you use in investment, right? And that's why the training, developer Wale, I hope you have already registered for the training, for the real estate training.
I don't have the link.
You don't have the link. Okay, I'm going to show you how you're going to get there. So as you are saving the money, since you already know right now, you see it here in my bio, right here, or you can just send me a DM. Right here, you would see it.
Oh, okay.
Next you
I
is
will go
going to
through your
take you
bio.
here. Then you get here, open, and of course, right here, you see it. It's a free training on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, and that's really, I always say that if we can, lifestyle creep is number one. Lifestyle creep, it's number one. Number two is no strategy, because even if you save your money and you are doing well, right? You are doing well. You have already understood that Mercedes is that you're parking in the garage, like developer said, and is working from home. Yeah, I think I will talk about your story for a little bit too. So I hope you don't mind. Yeah, that lifestyle. So the good thing is that you figured it out and you are doing 360 degrees and you're changing everything. So I am so glad. Some people found it late. Some people lost their homes. I actually, last December, somebody had to call me to say that he wants me to come by his home because he was going through foreclosure, and we had to talk about it. He was also in tech. Tech has just been crazy. I don't know what's going on in tech right now. It is bad. It is bad. So, um, the other thing is that if you do all of that, you are saving money, but guess what? You still have no asset strategy. So you are taking the money, you are putting it in the bank. A client of mine called me earlier and she says, I put money in the bank, and even the bank were wondering, is something wrong with this person? That, and the same thing happened to my friend. She's a doctor and she has so much money. She has close to like $1 million in Bank of America savings account. And Bank of America literally had to call her that, do you know that you only have 250,000, that you can, in case there is a loss or the bank goes down, you can only get up to 250,000 back. That's all that you can get that is backed up in terms of insurance, and she had so much of that in the account. And what did we do? I told her, okay, let's buy real estate. She started buying real estate. She started moving some into buying stocks and all of that. If you have no asset strategy, trust me, that $1 million that you put in a or 100,000 you put in there in Bank of America, it's going to give you $1 in a whole year. But if you put it in asset, or you put it, asset, whichever asset, put in businesses, put it in real estate, put it in simple ETF, you realize that you're going to grow, you're going to grow your wealth, right? You're going to, because no asset strategy, a lot of times, most high income earners, all that we have is 401k. We don't even have Roth IRA, because first of all, you might not you are not qualified for Roth IRA, right? But a lot of high income earners don't know that there is also something called backdoor IRA, backdoor Roth. They don't know, right? So they only have 401k. Then they have a savings account. They put money in savings account, and that is the worst strategy. You'll be okay, but you will remain on that hamster wheel. You do that paycheck till you are 65, and then you retire. If you are not careful, you will still go back to work and work at Walmart. So what do you need to do differently? Have a strategy. Make sure that you are intentionally, you have this system, you have your emergency fund so that you are protected against job loss, right? Your employer, 30,000 employees fired from Oracle, right? You have that 3 to 6 months. On top of that, you have your 401k maxed out to what your employer is matching. 3%, 6% will take the free money. You take it, and then Roth IRA is another one. Alaga, thank you so much for the follow. Roth IRA is another one. And Roth IRA, and if anybody wants to come up, today is freestyle. Bobby, Stephanie, anybody wants to come up, feel free. The third one is you have your Roth IRA, and then the third one, you have a regular brokerage account that you are buying simple ETFs. That is the other one. I just keep it simple. And we would have a class where we are going to do where in that class you will set it up. When you are setting it up, you will connect your money, you fund it. So it's going to be during the week, maybe in the evening during the week, such that you are able to do it one time. And it's now on you. If you now decide to go and say, you know what, I am not, I intentionally want to go break it, because it's going to be removing your money automatically every single month, and it's going to be buying those asset class for you. So you can at least know that you have the peace of mind. Let's keep tapping out the light. Thank you all for tapping out the light. Thank you for sharing the light. So one is lifestyle creep, inflation or creep. Two is no asset strategy, okay? No asset strategy. Because your income, what you do with it is what really matters. If you are just using it to just pay bills, and you putting savings account, retirement account, it's going to help you, but it's going to slow you down. Number 3 reason why the high income earners are staying stuck or why they are broke is they look at wealth as being random, because they've already done this job. I'm a medical doctor now. I spent 12 years in school. Now the money they think that, okay, building wealth is random, and they equate salary to wealth. Well, salary is not wealth at all. By all means, it's not. Just think about it. Anything that requires a person, right, to be there to generate income, that's not wealth. Because if you are not there, if your person is not there, if income cannot be generated, it means that it means that's not wealth in itself. It's not sustainable. It's not something that is scalable, because there's only one of you, right? And then any other thing that somebody it's dependent on somebody else. Okay, I know that even real estate is dependent on somebody else. However, you are not the one within the control. So think about the 30,000 employees laid off from Oracle. All of them, they could have been any 500,000. All of them, thank you so much for that. All of them, they did not have any plan of that. They did see it coming. If your life is dependent, is held on by one person can just take a decision, then you are not building wealth. Wealth simply means that you are not there, money is generated. In your sleep, money is generated. You do one, you do the other one, because it doesn't require, it's scalable. So you think about whatever income, let's assume you're earning 100,000, but that 100,000, think about it, you're generating it multiple times. Because think about you right now. If you are 4 of yourself, if you create yourself to be 4, think about it. Are you sure you're not going to be working in multiple places? What kind of business can someone do with 700K? Is this $700,000 or 700,000? What currency? $700,000. I can tell you, yes. What's the currency? Because I know that we have different people. In Naira, I'm not sure, but what I can tell you is that you can simply put it in I know Bamboo, or is it Bamboo or Piggyvest, is doing 18%. So you can return 18% on that. At least that's the minimum. You can put it in treasury bill, or you can put it in secondary or primary market. It gives between 18 to 22%. 18 to 20%. So that is another way, immediately you can start generating income. I was just talking to somebody in Nigeria today, and that's what we just talked about. 18 to 20%, you can return that, which is, think about it, even if we put it in an S&P 500 here that we call it business, you get 8 to 12%. But in Nigeria, that's 18 to 20% that you are getting right there. Okay, so that's what I would do, especially if you are there in person. That's a different thing. If you are not there in person, you want to be very careful. Otherwise, you'll be working for your business is going to be working for somebody else that is fun to be feeding people, right? And you won't even get anything, right? You won't get anything. So a fixed, 18%, 20%, that's what I would do first. And then what the second thing I would do is, with that 18%, let's say 700,000, 10%, that is 70,000, 20%, that's 140,000. I don't know how much, yeah, Piggy Vest, yes, Piggy Vest is doing that. But you can also open with Stanbic, you can open with Investment One, those ones, and just say that you want to open a treasury bill. I mean, not treasury, just tell them they should buy you a treasury bill. What is the rate now? And that helps you lock the money away for another 1 year. You return, I think on 5 million you get about 1.4 million or something thereabout. So those are things that it's a better, how do I put it? Except you have one business that you are there, you can that country. You can be otherwise. I've heard different stories. So that's why something that doesn't require a person, that doesn't require human intervention, doesn't require because even here the reason is comparative to comparison, right? When we talk about compound interest with an S&P 500 that's giving 8 to 12%, it will double your money in 7 years. So if you are getting 18 to 22%, thank you so for the Go Popular. If you are getting 18 to 22%, it means that in 4 years or 3 years, your money is going to double. All right. Thank you, Farah. Thank you so much. Your money is going to double. That's what it simply means, right? That is what it simply means. So, and that's how, just think about it that way. Don't think about it long term, especially if it's money that you don't need. A friend of mine was just still the person I was talking to in Nigeria today. That person, what she just said, she said, oh, the money she had 4 million. That was like 10 years ago. That money is almost 40 million naira right now. And that's the beauty of compound interest. Think about it if it's dollars, right? Because it's even higher, right? And for, that's it. Thank you so much for that, Selfera. So think about, and for so just always think about, I like the fact that you are thinking about it. Let your money be working for you, regardless, let it work for you, but make sure it's safety first. And that's why I said what I said earlier. The first thing first is ensure that you are, your money, just ensure first of all that it's protected, because if you put it to one business and it's somebody else that is enjoying the benefit of the business, and even with your 700,000, you will not even get anything. So just put it in just like think about it as an ETF, like treasury bill, 18 to 20%, and call it a day. If you don't need the money, just leave it there, and that's how you generate money. The other way is that once it generates money and you get up to like 700,000, exactly, get that 700,000, that your principal is already with you, and all with it. So that's how I will handle it. That's how I'm going to be handling it. Yeah, I hope that answered your question. Yeah, I hope that answered your question. You said wahala. Yeah, it means problem. It means big problem. So really, the other thing is not having no understand that wealth is not random. Wealth is not going to just crawl to you. You have to be very intentional. You have to, like, for me, I was also, for me, I was very career focused. Started from top 5 companies, and of course I was, boom, 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 doing everything, got to vice president. But guess what? Even with that pay, I wasn't still free. I wasn't free because there's just the fear in me that, you know what, you can get laid off. Even with a doctorate, you can still very get laid off, just like the 30,000 people. Can you imagine? 30,000, 30,000 people in one day, just email. and they just gave them 4 weeks and whatever. It's just heart aching, because it's not just one person. That's like a whole family, 30,000 families. 30,000 families, what it is. So think about it. So the thing about, you need to have a wealth strategy. You have to have a wealth system. Have your income. When you get your income, try to get assets. Okay, use it to buy assets. Assets could be like, it does, whenever I'm saying asset, it could be ETF, it could be the one that you're getting, ETF. What was is WEA? I'm not sure. WEA, what's that? I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, so you need to have your income, take some of it to intentionally, in short, if it's possible, target at least 50% of your income. If you can't do 50%, start from 10%, whatever, just start it. But make sure that your goal is 50%, because when you get a salary raise, right, you get that raise, you remember, oh, now it is not for buying bags, it's not for buying purse, it is, yeah, it's, I have under, oh, okay, wealth, the wealth, yeah, the wealth system, no wealth system, lifestyle inflation, sorry, it cut off. The wealth, yeah, wealth system, that's what I'm talking about right now. Yeah, salary versus assets, lifestyle inflation, the wealth, no wealth system, that's what that is. But thank you so much, I need to update that. So basically, it's, you need to just take some of this money. And by the way, for people that have not registered for the training, because I know some people might just come in and go, right, because it's the middle of the day. Do not forget to register for the training. The training is in 5 days, on Saturday. I keep saying it, on Saturday 11th and the 12th is when the training is. And this is going to, when we say that have no wealth system is one of the big problem. And the system is income, asset, cash flow, freedom. That asset in between that we talk about there is real estate, is ETF, is businesses. Those are the things that will generate cash flow that is now going to give you that freedom. Real estate is one of the most amazing part of it. One of the most amazing. And the training is free. But it's free, but it requires registration. The class is getting full. If you are wondering where to register, see, you find this on my bio. Click on it. I'm taking my time because I know people would come, especially my people that have been waiting. You click on it, you get here, and you find it right here with my beautiful face and the makeup and the hair, right? That's me right there. In case you did not recognize me, I can also be totally glam. So right here, that's it. Click on it, and it's going to be $0. It's a $1,000 value. So you want to take advantage of it right now. So register. Don't just say I'm going to do it later. Just do it and know that it's done. And for the people that have already registered, you'll get an email with some 2 videos that you're going to be watching on YouTube, so that's going to get you prepared ahead of the class, to give you an edge ahead of the class. So expect that should also come from me or from next year, so you can get prepared, get ready, get pumped, because it's going to be life changing. I'll be teaching everything, every single thing that I've known, not holding back. Do not holding back. So that's why we're doing 2 days. Why we're doing 2 days, because it's going. Okay, so thank you all for tapping out the live. Thank you for sharing. And so what actually build wealth, like I explained earlier? One is the ETF, right? Why are the reason why INRs are broke? Lifestyle inflation. 2, no asset strategy. 3, no wealth system. Those are the 3 things. Now, what actually builds wealth? Buy asset. Remember, to fund your asset will give you cash flow, and then you get your freedom. ETFs, real estate, businesses, and tax strategies. Those are ways, right? Those are assets or ways that you can actually buy back your time. Remember, money is not actually the goal. Money is not the goal. The goal in itself is freedom. But for you to be able to get freedom, you have to have the money, right? Because money is going to help you to, you see the health, It's money that you're going to use to buy the asset, down payment for a property, ETF, whatever. And that is how you get your freedom, because that asset that you are buying with the money, that's going to start giving you more money, which is cash flow, and then you would be able to have that freedom. Then that's how some people will work, because they want to work, not because they have to work. Thank you all for tapping out the like. Thank you for sharing. Farah Tiffany, thank you so much for the likes, and everyone here, thank you so much for tapping it out. Stephanie, Tiffany, and Farah, thank you so much. And those on YouTube as well, thank you so much. So really, that's really the goal. And let me just say, I mean, this story has talked about it over and over again. When I wanted to start real estate, for me, it wasn't like, I was just looking around. I just looked for something else that would replace 529. That was my entire goal. Like, okay, you know what? Let me fund my kids' education. Because that's one thing I don't joke with when it comes to kids. I'm a mother end. So I just wanted to, like, okay, well, I didn't get a college loan, so my children too will not get a college loan. But the 529 did it like every other person, but wasn't working. And for some reason, I've asked the question to everybody that came, even on this life. I was like, so anybody with 529 here, and please put in the comment, is it working? Maybe I'm the one that missed something, because I am always trying to learn something new. I'm not an island that knows everything, So if 529 is working for you, let me know, because it did not. And that's how I got into real estate, right? Because I was like, okay, there has to be a better way. And then I went into a training. We bought the first property, and was like, okay, this is for one kid, no name attached. Okay, this is cash flow is going to come here. We'll pay. This is how we're going to do it. This is what we're going to use in funding the education. And that's how we continued. And we continue till we got double-digit real estate, and we keep doing it. Because really, for me, and this is why I'm very passionate about real estate, because I'm like, is it that people don't know? Because it's been a blessing, and I'm just not one of those people that holds it back. Even though I do have challenges, like I could have vacancy, I'd had burglary, I'd had eviction, but just like with any other business or with your 9 to 5, yeah, I'll take that over anything else. I would definitely take it over, because it's been such a blessing, and almost like your own. It's your own. You have the control. Nobody can lay you off on nobody can lay you off on your job. I mean, on your own business, and it's just an easy way to even start out. Thank you so much for the tap up. Really appreciate that. And that's how you can actually build wealth. That's how you build wealth. Yeah, Seven, get up. Thank you. Welcome in. Assets create additional paycheck. It just, just think about whatever you are earning right now, 6-figure, right? You are earning 6-figure, you're excited about that. All right. Well, think about it. If you keep with $250,000, we might sound like a lot, but that's 50,000 a year. 50,000 a year. 50,000 a year is like, give me 1 second, please. Yeah. Bye. Bye. Sorry about that. Kids are home today. So 50,000 a year. That's what I mean. That's like down payment plus closing costs for a property, right? Closing costs for a property of 200,000, and that is how you can say that. Okay, you know what? It takes me 2 years to get there, and that's it. It's a story of my life. Yeah. So so you might say 2 years is what it takes me to get there. If you can get there in 1 year, good. And then you buy it, then you do it again the next year or another 2 years. But guess what? The money that you don't have, that doesn't have direction, that's the money. Always remember, that's the money that people will come and borrow. That's the money that people would say they'll bring their own problem. You would solve their problem. Have you heard of things in Africa like, but I'm giving this person money. I don't have a house, but this person already built 2 houses. Have you heard that story? It's not because it's not that they were smart. It's because that you had the money that you are not using. That's why they can play that game on you. If your own money is tied somewhere that every single paycheck it's deducted, you would not even feel guilty. I mean, it's okay to give. It is. I don't have a I don't have a problem with giving, but you cannot do your I mean, pay yourself first. Always pay yourself first. Absolutely. That's number one. And then once, and that's the only way you can actually pay yourself, which is either you are funding that account, and you know that that account you cannot take it out. You are funding your Rota area, funding your you're funding your Rota area, funding your 401k, you're funding your brokerage, you have real estate. If you have all those three, you are good. Even if the job, whatever, yes, you might be able to, you might struggle for a little bit, but guess what? You have income. I did show, think about it, you have 5 properties that's almost fully paid off. And every time, every month, you're getting $8,000, $10,000 every single month. Even if you decide to work to 65, you are working with peace. You are working at your own pace. You are working with peace of mind. And that's what is most important. That is what is financial freedom. That's what financial freedom is all about. So always pay yourself first. Use it to buy real estate. Once you have the money in a brokerage, it gets to a certain amount, go buy the next property. Even if you don't want to buy property, that's fine. You can also decide to say, okay, I want to buy businesses. People who own laundromat, people who have vending machine, just make yourself. People have franchises. I hope we know. Individuals, they have franchises. They do, you can, these are things that you can actually do. And it doesn't have to be, I just like real estate because it has helped me, right? But guess what? I get to a certain point. I've gotten to a certain point right now that I'm not only doing real estate, I'm not doing the residential. I'm going commercial, where who the people that owns is somebody that owns malls, is some people that owns apartment complexes of 100, 200 to 1,000 units. But you just need to get trained. All those places, retail stores, people own it. And then franchise, all those McDonald's. So I want us to open our mind, Let's not limit ourselves. That's why start with the real estate. After you do real estate, you have already gotten to the level, your goal. Think about it. Start taking money, because remember, now you have created multiple of yourself. It's you alone that is getting paycheck. Now you put it towards real estate. Real estate is generating money for you, but then you are still working. So what you do, you take some of the money, diversify, divest to some other things, because you already have your 401k, you have your Rotary, you have real estate. Now you now start thinking, okay, can I buy a McDonald's? Instead of you loving the fries of McDonald's, why can't you own a McDonald's? Right? You love Starbucks so much. Why do you, yes, since you love it so much, why not just buy the Starbucks itself and just be an owner? So we need to, and really, all these things, it might be like, oh, you know what, Dr. Lina is mesmerizing. No, 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 no. I'm just saying it as it is. You can actually do it. You just need to, okay, you'll be so surprised at how much, some of this franchise is like 100,000, 200,000 that you need. I go to franchise fair every single year, and every single year, there's a, is it steak and, what's this one? Steak and, it's at the airport. You'll be so surprised at how much it requires you there to own it. But the only thing is that you want to check the profitability, you want to check, location, because food business, you really want to be careful. So those are other things, businesses, always think about it. You can be the self-made millionaire in your family. You can break that generation of, and they're like, oh, it starts with me, it ends with me here. And then whenever you're doing it, you're also getting your children involved. Like once your child turns 15, think about this card, authorized user card. It helps them to build credit, but you need to affix your own credit. Don't go and destroy the poor child's credit, right? Authorized credit, get them Roth IRA and start putting some money there every single month. A Motto, thank you so much for the likes, and every other person here. Have that for them. Think about, if you are not doing 529, you need to. Oh, and please, if you are one of those people that are thinking of college debt, please, let's start. You can start putting small money aside right now for them, because you don't want them to have a start a life with negative. So it's just better for you to do that extra work, and get them protected. These are children, because we are talking about the next generation. Remember, it's generational wealth that we talk about here. If we are talking about generational wealth, then if you don't talk about kids, then what are we doing? Right? That's how I got into real estate. What are we doing? And guide them whenever they are going to school as well. Some of them are just going to college because to certain colleges because their friend is doing that course. Guide them. Whenever they say that they want to do this course, tell them, okay, how much does that cost? If you graduate, what are you going to be? And then when you know what they are going to be, how much is that income? Go on Google, go and research. Let them give you the details. How much would that particular job or that career that they want to go and do? Ask them. So how much does it pay? Before you go and pay 200,000, 150,000, for a particular school, and then they do a course that's not going to generate anything. I tell people that are in cybersecurity, doing cybersecurity right now, studying them, I say, can you add AI to it? Because cybersecurity in itself is, a lot of layoffs there. But what's going to set you apart? Put AI into it. Reason why I talk about AI is because there's somebody, the AI itself that's taking people's job. There has to be somebody that is building it. There has to be something. There has to be compliance and controls around that AI. So if you are the cybersecurity expert around AI, trust me, that's a job right there. And you might be wondering, we're talking about wealth, but there's no way I can talk about wealth if one of my pillar is what is going to give you the income. The income is what is going to give you that you use towards asset. Then asset will give you cash flow. Then our cash flow is going to give you freedom. So that asset, except you have an inheritance or you won a jackpot, that asset is the starting point. Okay. Awesome. I hope we all agree. So 3 things. Let's avoid lifestyle inflation. Let us have an asset strategy, and let us create a wealth system. A wealth system. And thank you so much for the follow. A wealth system, because that's how you're going to. And whenever I talk about wealth system, it means your generations come. So think about, and you're also going to be thinking about protection, trust, all of those kind of things are things that you need to take into account, because we'll be talking about that down the line. We are building $1 million academic league. That's what we are building, and we are starting with this training. This training is going to be the first on real estate on Saturday and Sunday, 11th and 12th. If you haven't registered, go on my bio. All right, either on Instagram or YouTube, you find it right here. Click there. It's how you buy real estate in 90 days. Claim your spot before the class is before the class gets filled. Once it's filled, it's full. And then go on if you can. Although I'm going to be sending an email, you need to also go and watch this video that I have on my YouTube and subscribe while you're at it right here. It's how to buy own first rental by January 2026. I had that months ago, so you would have that. And then my latest video as well is there. These 2 videos are. So this one, it's buy real estate in 90 days with no money, down payments and all of that, because I know those are the big issue. You did not get a confirmation email when I signed up for the class. Okay, yeah, please send me a DM, Motto. Let me see. You should get a confirmation email. You should get and it will tell you today. Who else did not get a confirmation email? You should, because I know that some people have responded. Let me see. How do I? Let me go to. What I recommend is just can you do it one more time? Can you register one more time? Just register again. Motto, just register again, because you should get an email. We put the time. It would let me see. Let me see if I can find you on let me see. But I wouldn't know the name that you registered with. That's the only thing. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that, because I'm just looking right now to see, but there's no way I can know how. Yeah, yeah, just register and feel free to Moto Bruno. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Anyway, can you do it again? If you can just do it again because of time, that would be great. That would be great. And for every stride choco, welcome, welcome. If you haven't registered for the training, yeah, if you haven't registered for the training, the real estate training, this is your opportunity to learn from somebody that have double digit real estate portfolio, that's seen the good, the great, good, and the bad or the ugly. So I'm not missing anything. You would see, and how I definitely handle the different situation. Yeah, so that is how I got, you don't want to miss that opportunity. So the training, again, I'm going to show everyone again one more time. If you haven't registered, you want to register. The class is getting filled up quickly because it's my birthday month. That is why I'm doing it for free. Like I said, it's a $1,000 value. Okay, so Farah says she did. Yeah, it was, I think she dry Shoko. I'm just telling any other person, I know you did, sir. It's right here. So you find it right here. Where are you? And you find it, it's also on my Instagram page as well. So you find it right here, nestyou.me. You click on it. It's going to bring you to this page, and then you can click on open anywhere right here, and you would see it right there. Right, it's going to come up as $0, right? But if you want to buy the ebook or you want a one-on-one, you can also do that, right? But then ensure that, oh, thank you so much, Selfera. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, then I also, but the email is going to go out as well for the training that is, yeah, this training, you see, you will need to watch that and the latest video as well, because that too is going to definitely help you ahead of the class. Okay, well, any question? And thank you all for coming through. Thank you all for tapping out the live. Motto, please send me a message if you still have issues. If you still do have issues, let me know. Reach out to me, send me a DM. So if I don't hear back from you, it means that everything is fine. Okay, but I do not want to, I want my people, I don't want anybody to miss out from the training, right? I don't want anybody to miss out from the training. It's just a beauty. Yeah, okay, all right, okay, perfect. Awesome. Any question? I hope I was able to add value today. 1 if I added value, 0 if I did not. 1 if I added value, 0 if I did not. And thank you all for tapping out the live. Really, really appreciate it. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Is this your new time? No, it's not. It's today is just let me just say the story. No, it's still going to be 12:30 Central. But then today I had to, one of my tenants is just a crazy, not use the word crazy, it's not crazy. It's just one person that is just an unserious person. It will pay you on the 6th or something, but rent is due on the 3rd, right? I mean, on the 1st through the 3rd. So I need to literally go and to the door to say, okay, here, this is notice to pay or vacate. And then it's not like he doesn't have the money, but we just have some people that are disabled. It's been there 2 years. So I can never even get angry. It's never owed a month rent. So that's where I went to post the whatever the notice. So, but this is the 12:30 will still be in the normal time, and then I do 9:30 at times. I mean 8:39 Central Time as well at night at times. I might come up tonight as well, because I noticed that there's some group that are not available. So depending on the capacity I have at work or after work, then I'll be able to like, okay, you know what, and then I'm off today, because of the holiday for the kids and all of that. So otherwise, I'll be rushing to do school runs by now. But great, 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 great. Yeah, awesome. Stephanie, are you ready? I know you probably are just at work and all this. Is everyone ready? I am ready. I'm ready. So be on the lookout for the email. All right. Okay. 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 All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I'll see you later. Ensure your money is working harder than you do. Bye.